little better. Good morning.
Good morning.
Before I start, I'd like to do a few things first. First, thank you to the selection team for giving me this opportunity and the rest of us this opportunity. Second, I'd like to thank you guys for coming here an entire hour early on a busy day to come celebrate and listen to us reflect. And then lastly, I'd like to congratulate Marcelli for winning the Class Day Speaker. Is Marcelli here yet? You got a chance to know each other a little bit through this process, and I'm truly happy that you get to share your story on graduation day. So thank you. My mother, Pamela, and father, Anthony, exposed me to the idea of dream chasing when I was a young child. In our home in Martinez, California, hung the pictures of two of the greatest dream chasers of the 20th century, Martin Luther King and Nelson Mandela. However, I didn't really realize their significance until I accidentally wrote both of their pictures as I was playing around the house. So after a bit of tough love, to put it lightly, both of my parents sat me down and told me just who these two men were and why their dreams should matter to someone like me. And although I didn't realize it at the time, learning about both of their aspirations set me down a path of dream chasing myself. It pales in comparison to the dreams of King and Mandela, but my first dream was on the baseball field. It was fourth grade, a championship game. Now, many of you are familiar with baseball, but for those who aren't, there's this rarity called the inside the park home run, where if you hit the ball in the field and round all four bases before being tagged out, you score one run. However, if you are tagged out, you have to leave the field. Got it? Good, great. Now back to my captivating story. Now again, this was the championship game. My team was down 4-0 and it had come down to the final at bat. However, there were 3 men on base, so a home run would actually tie the game and give us a chance to win. And fortunately for me, this was literally the scenario that I dreamt about as a child. A chance to hit a home run and save the game. And even better for me, it was my turn to hit. So after coming within a pitch of striking out, I hit the ball far into center field. My heart starts racing. As I begin, and I watch the ball land and bounce to the fence, I begin to round the bases. As I approach third base, again, which is right before home, I had the option of staying there or going for the inside the park home run. But how could I stop at third? Remember, the dream was not to almost save the game, but it was to save it. So I had to keep going. So as I slide into home plate, the opposing team throws the ball and tags me out. I look up to the umpire to determine whether I made it safely, and I listen for his call. He yells, "Out!" The game is over. We've lost 3-4. But before defeat even had the chance to set in, I watched my older brother of 12 years, Corey. He leapt over the fence like a madman and dove on the ground to embrace me at home plate. He hugged me with all the love that a brother could and told me that he was proud of me. To be honest with you, I was a bit confused. I had just lost the game by getting thrown out. He messed up. However, I was misunderstanding the implications of the moment. My brother knew all that it meant to me to win that game. He was there for me while I practiced, and he was there for me to listen to me talk about my dreams. So he was not celebrating a failed attempt, but rather commending an effort to not settle for anything less than realizing my dreams. So when I look in the mirror today, I still see that child that dreamed of hitting a home run to save the game. But now that child is an adult who is another step closer to making his dreams become a reality. I'm not alone when I say that here today. Many may look at us, me and my classmates, and see a group of type A personalities who have checked the box yet again on our planned list of accomplishments. Some of you guys will do that on May 26th, and that's fine. However, when I look at us, what I see is a collection of dream chasers on a voyage to make something of ourselves. And HBS has been with us to support us on that journey. It's been said for years that education is the great equalizer. For example, some of us are the first in our families to ever make it to an institution like this. Coming to HBS has not only been one of the greatest accomplishments of our lives, but also been a stepping stone to provide a better life for ourselves and for our family. Others, coming to HBS has been birthed out of an idea and an obligation. The proud descendants of accomplished family members who have set a standard of excellence and expect us to carry that down to the next generation. Some others making it to HBS has been our first time to come to America. First time to relish in its benefits, overcome its shortcomings, and share all of that with the loved ones who have come with us. And all of us have used HBS as a chance to reset and reflect. We've been successful thus far. We use HBS as a springboard to find purpose and fulfillment in our professional lives. So as you can see, education is the great equalizer, and is the very reason I stand before you today. However, I'd like to extend this idea a bit further and say that here at HBS, pressure is also the great equalizer and is an idea and concept that has united us all. Pressure to perform, pressure to provide, pressure to live up to expectations. As challenging as it is, I don't think any of us would have it another way. This morning I've glorified several times over this idea of dream chasing, going for the home run instead of stopping at third. However, I'd be naive to think that life sometimes does not just happen and causes us to place our dreams on hold. There will come a time in our lives we must stop at third to allow others to realize their dreams. And to that I do not disagree. However, I challenge us to clearly distinguish between the times where we're humbling ourselves to provide an opportunity for others versus fearing failure and settling for the comfort of what we know we can achieve. In the last 2 years, I've met some truly remarkable individuals. Some who have poured their heart and souls into an idea and will leave this place starting a company of their own. Others who, despite the financial uncertainty, have dedicated their lives to service and know that a social conscience is the only one worth listening to. And finally, some others who have come here and professionally reinvented themselves and pursued their dream careers with such a tenacity, I could do nothing but respect them. Put simply, these people have placed a bet on themselves and have had the audacity to believe that they can beat the odds. Each one of us will face times in our lives where the likelihood of success is uncertain, and the only thing that will carry us through is the faith in our own abilities. And when those times come, I challenge us not to shy away, but to embrace them, as they will be some of the greatest moments of growth and our most indelible moments of satisfaction. So as I close, I'd like to take us back in time. Before we knew each other, before the section dinners and international excursions, before boat cruise, before any of us really knew what this place was really about. Think back to the day that you found out you got into Harvard Business School. I remember that day vividly. I was sitting in a class at Morehouse College as I was trying to become the overachiever among overachievers and get into HBS as an undergrad and member of 2+2. I was the first black valedictorian of my high school and on my way to become valedictorian again of my Morehouse graduating class. Yet, when I got a call from a Boston area code, knots began forming in my stomach and I became overcome with self-doubt. You see, I heard if you got in, you would get an email. So this was HBS's way of letting a brother down easy. But when I picked up the phone, it was our beloved D. Leopold on the line. And as soon as she uttered the words, congratulations, tears began running down my face as I thanked D for taking a chance on me. And if my memory serves me correctly, I think D shed a few tears as well. So what was behind all of those tears? Yes, it was a state of happiness. Yes, it was a moment of relief. And yes, it was a sense of accomplishment. But more than anything else, it was a feeling of gratitude for HBS believing in me and for all those who had helped me get to that point. Your story may be different than mine, but the fact of the matter remains the same for all of us. Our families, our mentors in this institution have invested all that they can to enable us to make something of ourselves. And with that investment, we're not only responsible for making an impact in our respective fields, but also to help others in the process. Nelson Mandela, the same man whose picture hung in my wall and home as a child, was revered for the compassion and the love that he had for others. Oprah Winfrey described him and declared that he was the most humble man and person that she had ever met. Former Prime Minister Tony Blair described him as having a quiet humility about him when recounting their relationship shortly after he passed. And when discussing his own humility, which I'd like to call his common touch, Mandela explained that it was necessary to transform himself into a modest man in order to change society. Some may be unconvinced by the mission of this business school to educate leaders who make a difference in the world, but this is a charge that none of us should ever take lightly. After we leave this place, we will certainly find ourselves in positions that have the power to change the world as we know it. And if we are to do this the right way, in a manner in which we should be proud, we can never relinquish our humility. We can never lose our common touch. For the common touch helped Mandela to galvanize a nation to overcome an unjust regime of apartheid. The common touch allowed Gandhi to lead a movement built of understanding to break the shackles of imperialism. The common touch allowed King to convince an entire nation that this country should believe in his dream of equality. And the common touch will allow us to convince our employees, our business partners, and better yet, our families to be accountable and to make the tough decisions, no matter what the outcome. The common touch, the common touch, the common touch should guide us all. Classmates, it is one of the greatest honors of my life to stand before you as we finish out our final days at HBS. And we should all consider it a privilege to soon call ourselves graduates of this phenomenal institution. HBS has taken a chance on us, has equipped us with all the tools that we'll need to make something of ourselves, whatever it is that we want that to be. So let us go for our home run. Let us remember the common touch. Let us make a difference in the world.